Hello and welcome. I'm just about to start up this YouTube channel because in New Zealand we don't seem to have very many videos or tutorials or whatever you want to call them about electric vehicles, solar panels, battery storage and all that sort of business. So I'm wanting to start one of those up. I will be going up to the North Island because I'm way at the bottom of the South Island and I live here. And I'm going up to my brother's for Christmas time, and one thing I hate in other videos is you don't always know what date it is, and it's December 2023. So while I go up there on my electric motorcycle, I'll be documenting some of that along the way and hopefully posting that. So that will be my first real episode. Again, what do I know about electricity? I used to work as a high school teacher in the sort of physics and mathematics, so I do feel like I know a little bit what's going on, but I don't want to get too technical. I don't want to explain electrochemical cells and all that sort of thing, how batteries work, unless someone really wants it. But I have a little bit of experience with that. I've taught all around the world, I've worked all around the world, I've worked in more things than just the education. I've worked as a tour guide, I've worked as a climbing instructor, lots of things. I mean, again, that could be another 45-minute episode, but I will not try and bore you with that. So what the whole purpose of this is that I want to give a little bit of a South Island perspective. We're quite far south here, like over 45 degrees south. It does get reasonably cold, but we're not talking like the Midwest of the US cold. I know because I've lived there before. Right now it's quite rainy and it's summer. Well, December is summer in New Zealand. And I want to talk about a few things from a scientist's point of view about electrochemical cells and those sort of things, and some of the things that are not or necessarily correct that we hear about electric vehicles and batteries and things like that, as many other YouTube channels have done. Again, you'll hear some other things from them, but I will try and explain a few things that are very much misconceptions. So expect at the end of a lot of these videos a little discussion about things that I don't know whether people have talked about. That's simple. That's it. See you later. Okay, as I mentioned, I wanted to talk about each video about some misconceptions. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is vegan leather. Now, a lot of car makers, whether it's an EV or an ICE car, says that they're now environmentally friendly and they use vegan leather or fake leather or faux leather, whichever you want to call it. Now, some of the vegan leather is plant-based, which is all good because we can grow more plants, right? But some of it includes a substance called polyvinyl chloride. Now, the problem with that is that it is, well, it says, the name says all polymer. Polymers are mainly made out of things that come from these countries. Now, you may well say, what does SAME stand for? Saudi Arabia, Middle East. Pretty much, if your oil comes from that particular region of the world, then oil is used to produce this thing. Now, any of you that know anything about organic chemistry, because that's what a hydrocarbon is, the polymer is a repeating structure of this. In our particular case, a lot of carbons, a bunch of hydrogens, and one chlorine atom. Now that's repeated numerous times because this by itself is not anything significant, but if you join hundreds of these together you get a thing called a polymer, and again it's plastic. So all plastics come from this wonderful thing called oil. Now you may well say, well, here's a quite controversial thing. Oil is organic because it's made out of plankton from hundreds of thousands of years ago and all that sort of thing. However, it locks up a lot of carbon, and when we burn it, we release it into the atmosphere, and that's the main problem. So, if your faux leather contains PVC, the whole point of EVs was they're meant to get rid of burning fossil fuels. Now, we're not necessarily burning fossil fuels, but we are making fossil fuels, so we're requiring ourselves to drill the ground and get it out of the ground. So you could say, if your vehicle is using this, sure, we're not burning fuel, but we're still using the byproducts of oil. So that's something you need to consider. Well, I wouldn't say it's going to stop you from buying a car because it's got leather seats, but even material seats will quite often contain polyesters, which of course are another poly, which means they're from another oil producing country. So have a think about that. And here are a few of the things that you'll see that I actually own and I will talk about over the next couple of episodes. Everything from motorcycles to cars to batteries to solar cells. Stay tuned.